Are you guys? Can you hear me? Am I coming through? Okay, so who do we have here? Hi, Doug Murray from Georgia. All right, Justin Brown, how are you? Where you from, Justin? Jose Alvin Palas from Philippines. Hi, Mark. Good to see you here from Michigan. Alan Day. Alan O'Day. Undercover Angel. You know this? You know this? Anyway. Cool. You guys can hear me. How you guys doing? Good? All good? We're having a thunderstorm right now. A heavy thunderstorm. Even as we speak. It started raining like 2 hours ago. Maybe 2? Yeah, 2 hours. Yeah, 2.5 hours ago. And it's not going to stop until next morning. Until the coming morning. Yeah. Home of the Blues. Yeah. Memphis, Tennessee. I'm also really saddened to hear about what happened in South Korea with the stampede during the Halloween celebration. It's shocking, and to hear that 150 people lost their lives when they're out celebrating. Yeah. Anyway, I have my own take on this, but I'm not going to say it here. Who is Owen Craig? So okay, so now I know you're from Alabama. That figures. Okay. Today, I got a couple of nice stuff lined up. A couple of sneak peek, so to speak. I got this whole box of stuff from NUX. So a couple of interesting stuff here, which I'm going to review in the days to come. And then I have a surprise. How should we say a surprise gift from the good folks at Ampero, or rather the good folks from Hotone. This is their Ampero Stomp 2, but I think this is like the 10th anniversary. Yeah, so this is the 10th anniversary special edition. I have the same one. It's just a plain white. This is all red. So I'm gonna open this up later on just to show you guys. Really nice. Yes, Owen Craig, the Great Muscle Show. I love the old Muscle Show sound. The musicians that are involved in that studio is incredible. You mentioned about this drummer called Roger Hawkins. I believe he played with what's that band called? Man, I forgot. You are the Firefall, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did some sessions with Firefall, or was he part of the band? Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't get your name, Owen Craig. I can't be calling you Owen Craig. Dated. You must have a name. Anyway, so really nice sleeve. And then, alright, so the packaging is something else. This is almost the same as the original packaging, except this time it comes with a LP. This is actually an LP. And these are all like, original recordings from their artists, I guess. I don't know. There's some Chinese songs here. Some of them I think are produced in Hong Kong, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have the instruction manual all in red instead of the usual white. Alright, so I finally know your name, Dennis. Good to know. Alright. Yes, Doug. You know, it's really bad. It's quite a shocker. In fact, I think the whole of South Korea is in a state of mourning right now. 150 people, it's like crazy. Because they were like all crowded together in this little alleyway. That's like I saw the footage. Like, you know, there's a bit of a downhill slope, but this is just a small alleyway, and you had like hundreds and hundreds of people cramp into there, maybe thousands of people cramp into there. And what they're saying is that there are rumors there is a well-known artist, a well-known somebody, celebrity in one of the pubs there, and everybody was rushing into that joint to catch a glimpse of their so-called idols, and that's where this whole shoving and pushing started happening, and people got trampled, people were like suffocated to death standing up. Yeah, it's like, anyway, we shan't go there tonight. My thoughts and prayers are with them. Later on, we'll probably say a prayer for the families of those who have lost their loved ones in the tragic accident or the tragic incident. So this is how it looks like. The rest of the stuff are about the same. They have the same power supply, a couple of stickers to celebrate. This reminds me of Singapore National Day sticker. Anyway, this is how the unit looks like in red. It even comes with, you know, little packets of moisture removal. Really nice looking. Very sleek. It's enough focusing, yeah. And alright. I think red looks better, way better. But the white ones looks nice too, you know, it's clean. Yeah, but the red ones are like a bit more attractive looking. What do you think? Yeah. So I'm gonna like port over all the presets from my, you know, the original white one, the Stomp 2, and port it over here, and maybe I'll see what happens. Maybe I have that one as a spare, or I'll put it out for sale. Firefall, right? I love Firefall. But am I correct, Dennis? Good Lord, what? Is this how it looks? Okay, I finally got it in. Put this in. We're good to go. Alright. So this is the Ampero Stomp 2. Interesting packaging. That is a real shame, alright. Lots of good music came out from those guys in Not So Show, yeah. Your brother was a sound engineer, oh man. I had the opportunity to jam with some of the greatest musicians in the world, I'll bet. Hi Robert, good to see you. Yeah, I mean, all these multi-pedals are really great, but you know, after a while they about, you know, about the same. So I think I'm kind of impressed with the Stomp 2, to tell you the truth, and the MG400, you know, because the MG400 has a sort of a distinct sound. I find it to be warmer, and I didn't got into it like really in depth because the fact that it has only 3-4 foot switches. So the Stomp 2 has the same thing, but the good thing is that I can have MIDI foot switches working with this, you know, additional foot switches working with the Stomp 2, so I can have a lot more foot switches to control the unit. So it's great for live situations, which I'm planning to use it for, like, you know, in church or in small jam sessions or small gigs where I don't have to carry my Helix. Yeah, so and I like the sound because I can load in my favorite IRs, and the same IRs that I use for my Helix, and yeah, I kind of like what I'm hearing, and the interface is easy. I just like the way it's designed, you know. So it's all metal design, so it's very durable, so to speak. I'm just afraid that the red paint will come off, but then again, the white paint will come off too. So if you're gonna use it extensively, you know. Hi, Logify. Or what? Okay. Hi, Peter Bush. Joel Vitu. Comment allez-vous? Bonsoir. Oh, bonjour. Daniel Costa Korea? Hey, hola. From Brazil. Huh? Yeah. And Craig, I wish you had been around with those guys. You would have fit right in. Yeah. Man. Thank you so much. I don't think so. I think they're way above my league. You know, those guys are guys that, you know, I look up to. You know, those were the good old days of recording. You know, you had a bunch there in Muscle Show, and then you had a bunch in LA where, you know, all these West Coast people, you know, the greats are here. You know, the so-called A team, and then you have the East Coast where you get another bunch like, you know, Steve Gadd and the rest of the guys. You know, they're based in the East Coast, so crazy. Music back then was like, we are spoiled for choices, and every area has its own sound. The Atlantic sound, you know, the Atlanta sound. You have the New York sound. You have the LA sound, and then you have Nashville. You know, so yeah, it's great. You know. Hi, Jack Collins. No, I don't celebrate Halloween. Well, thank you so much, Dennis. I appreciate it. Timothy Matthew. Hey. Yeah, I was actually quite excited a couple of days back because I there was a miscommunication. So I thought I'll be going on a trip to Canada, to Vancouver, you know, but it turns out that it was a misunderstanding, so I wasn't involved. But you know, I'm just looking forward to next year where, you know, I can travel with this artist that I'm going up with to LA and San Francisco, and I'm hoping that, you know, we'll be able to get some shows in Canada happening. That'll be great. Yeah. Right? Yes, Mark. Motown. I love Motown. The first time that I actually heard anything that I really like from Motown, I'm not too old. I'm not that old. You know, so I'm not born in the 50s. I was born in 1960. So the earliest or interaction, or rather the earliest I can remember hearing stuff from Motown was from the old Michael Jackson recording, like "One Day in Your Life," you know, stuff like that. Or some of the old statistics, right? And Manhattan, and some other artists before that. And I hear, you know, the signature sound of Motown are the bells and the string section, and of course the rhythm section and all that. But what struck me the most, what defined Motown for me back then, was the string arrangements and the bell. So most of the Motown songs that are recorded in Motown has that distinct sound to it. So that was my impression. Yeah. Rick Van Tol, hello. Where are you from, Rick? Thank you again, Dennis. Right, so you guys got any question to ask before I start going through this box of goodies from NUX? What do y'all think about the last review that I did for, what did I do? I forgot what I did. What did I do? Oh man, H is catching up. What did I do? What did I do for the last for my last review? Let's see. I remember I did a pedal, if I'm not mistaken. Hi Rick. Yes, I can't guess you're from Netherlands. Van Tol. Found your channel while looking for reviews for the Fender Mustang. Oh, great. Dennis, I played Bill Monroe's mandolin with him. Oh man, that's so cool. That's so cool. I'm still learning how to play mandolin. Well, it's not an easy, how should you call it? Easy instruments to master. Oh yeah, so I want to ask you about a Black Star Department 10 amp one. I'm sure some of you or most of you have seen that video. So it's basically an amp in a pedal. And what do you guys think? Because for me, I thought it was. I mean, some of you guys actually posted comments on that video, and it is a wonder that technology has come to this stage where you can actually incorporate an amp or something that plays like an amp, sound like an amp, feels like an amp in a pedal, which doesn't take too much space. So it's around this big. I thought it was pretty good. And now they're coming up with different variations of this because from what I know, they're coming up with the same concept like an amp but with effects. So I'm like curious as to see how it would sound like, because you're gonna put a whole lot of stuff into this form, so something has to give. Right? And then there's another pedal where you have all from Black Star, three channels, a 3-channel amp in the same format. So you're gonna have like clean, crunch, and solo, right? With very minimal effects. Same thing, you can choose the tubes and 3-cap sims and all that. Effects send and return loop. It's cool. So that is interesting, a 3-channel amp, meaning you can gig with this basically. The other one that is interesting is the one I was telling you about with the effects built in. So basically they have like delay, modulation, reverb. I think there's a distortion in there somehow, or an overdrive. But what was missing, even a tuner, you even have a tuner incorporated in it. But what was missing was a compressor, So a lot of these pedals, like, these so-called multi-effects, or rather a amp in a pedal, they got it right, basically most of it, but they're just short of something. Like the amp one is just short of a presence control. That would just seal the deal for me. I would just bought it. I would have just gotten it, with a presence control or even a bright switch, like how what you have on bright switches on a Fender amp. That would just seal the deal for me, because then you have a good sounding amplifier pedal that sounds like an amp, like how a Fender Twin Reverb or Deluxe sounds like, and you can play all your clean stuff. And then I could switch another preset and then going into another tube with another amplifier setting, like from the American to the British, and you can get really nice variation in sound, right? But I'm just curious as to what the other two pedals are gonna sound like. Oh lordy, you play the banjo? Banjo for me was like, the banjo is one instrument that I can never understand, and especially with the rolling thing, it's so hard to do that, and I cannot play with finger picks. I tried. I tried using those finger picks. I just couldn't get used to them. Even for my lap steel, I should be using finger picks, but I just kind of gave up and just play with my bare fingers. You know. Hi Finn. Another Scandinavian for you, Rick. If you're here, just press the like button if you can. Okay, no questions? If there's no question, then I would just go through what I have in this box, which is quite a lot actually. There's some repetition because I've asked for more stuff, more of the good stuff. I have this tuner here. I don't know whether I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I showed it to you guys before. This is a really nice compact little clip-on tuner from NUX, fully USB chargeable. All right, so there's a charging port here. All right, I wonder whether this has been charged. Oh yes. So it looks like this, you know, and then when you hooked up, there'll be lights, there'll be like colors and stuff like that to indicate where your tuning is. You know, pretty cool, pretty compact and not too big of a footprint. Right. Comes with a, I think it comes with a USB cable for charging. All right, so don't you dare answering him, okay? Don't you dare answer oh incorrect. All right, so this is what is this? Okay, so they sent me a couple of mini pedals, and these are all brand new. In fact, I don't think they've been released yet. So I'm just sneak peeking with you guys so that you guys would know what they have. Okay, I'm just gonna bring out all the mini pedals, and then I'm just gonna go through one by one. I'm not going to open them up because I'm going to save it for the unboxing part of the videos. There's one that's already been opened, so that's cool. Take a look at the format. All right. What is this? This is oh, now you have the Mighty Plug 3 now. So the Mighty Plug, this is something that is pretty useful for those of you who wants to plug into something and then they don't want to disturb anyone, you know, without the amplifier being too loud. So basically what this does is that you it's a guitar and bass amp modeling, and what you do is you plug into your headphones and plug this Mighty Plug into your guitar, and you can kind of like control this with your app. I know a lot of this stuff are dependent on apps, so if you're old school, you know, you probably either love it or hate it. So it's controllable by an app, and you can choose what kind of amp that you want to use, or sort of effects and stuff like that. You know, you can add in your compressors, your whatever you want to do, and it's pretty cool for practicing at home, right? So this is version 3 right now, so it's MP3. Okay, and then this is something that I'm pretty interested about. This is called the B-7 PSM, which is like a wireless in-ear monitoring system. Sorry. Right, so basically it works like any wireless, like, you know, you have the guitar plug where you have a receiver and transmitter, and then you kind of like, you can plug in the receiver on your amp and your transmitter on your guitar, and you're not going through any wires. It's all wireless. So this works not for your guitar amp or your guitar. This works for your headphones, your IEMs, for example. So I know some of you are playing the church or maybe some gigs where you guys are using IEMs, small gigs, you know. So the big gigs that I do, you know, all these things are all provided in the back line, where they have the real professional Shure, or, you know, whatever brand they have, AKG or whatever, big pack, you know, wireless packs, which I use in my live concerts. But in a small like club, you know, and you're using in-ears, you can actually use this without having that wire, that stupid wire, you know, hanging around. So I'm going to try this out in my rehearsal, which is going to start on a fortnight from now, on Sunday. So we are using IEM. So I'm going to use this and see how it works. So basically, it just I don't have to take it out because it's basically the same Same as any wireless transmitter and receiver unit. All right. Oh, it comes with a bag. It's a nice touch. So it comes with a really nice carrier bag. All right. Oh man, it looks really nice. So this case is like, you know, any of the cases that you find in your AirPod, sorry, where it actually charges everything. So you can charge the case. There's USB connection, and when you're using it, you can plug it back to this case to recharge your unit. There you go. Simple. Wow, it's pretty cool. How do I recharge this? Oh no, okay, so there are, like, you know, you can see that, like, there are two connectors here. Yeah, so these are the charging connectors, and you can kind of charge all this thing. Nice. So instead of a 1/4-inch jack, you know, this comes in with a mini jack, so you can plug this into your IEM unit, you know, the base unit. And then the other one is a clip-on where you have a input for your IEM. So this is where you plug in your IEM, and you can clip this onto your guitar strap or to your belt. Nice, ingenious. I gotta know what's the frequency that these guys are working on. Let me just check. All right, so it's 5.8 gigahertz, which is pretty good, I guess. Nice. I'll be looking forward to testing this out. Question? War Rosen. Hi from Germany. Are you a member of a band, or does a video exist that shows you in action with a band? I'm not in a band. I'm more of a session player, so I work with different musicians. So if an artist calls me to play for him, then I will play for them. Sometimes with different bands, and sometimes with total strangers. This time, as I'm going up to the States, I'll be heading up to LA on the 18th. Yeah, on the 18th of November, which is this month. This is like, oh no, tomorrow is the 1st of November. Okay, so the 18th of November, I'll be flying up to LA, and then subsequently I'll be heading up to San Francisco. Now this is with a bunch of guys that I've been working with for the last 2.5 years. We did a tour. We did a couple of shows together before COVID, and then COVID happened, and then we stopped. But this time around, it's with a different artist, and I'm just touring with them for these gigs, you know, that is going to happen in November. And right after that, I don't know what's going to happen. We have a show lined up in Singapore on the 4th of February next year, and then another one in Malaysia in somewhere in May. So these are the gigs that have already been confirmed, but we're just waiting for more dates. So basically, I do not tour with a particular band. You know, I'm like I said, I'm a session player. I'm what you call a mercenary. Hi, Todd. Still no East Coast dates? No, not yet. I'm waiting. I was waiting for a show in New Jersey. You know, Atlantic City. All right, so this is called the Queen of Tones. Now they used to have one King of Kings or something like King of Tones, the earlier one, which I think I still have that unit. You know, it hasn't been sold yet. So this is the Queen of Tone, and I don't know what is this. This is like a nice pedal. This is like a dual overdrive unit with some fancy layout. I think there are like EQs. Alright, there's some EQs there and some controls for like dual switching. So basically you have just a tone switch, basically treble and tone, gain and drive. So dual overdrive. So you actually have two, or the silver and shine. Oh, nice, interesting. So I'm gonna test this out soon. I want to hear how this sounds like. Should be pretty good. NUX makes really good stuff. They actually do. They have some very innovative pedals. And one of my favorite pedals is right here. This is the Natsumi compressor and booster, which I utilize all the time. Right now it's situated around top of these orange amps because it sounds the best with this. You know, sometimes I use this in conjunction. Like for example, if I'm going to review this, I'll probably use this in conjunction with this because this will go right after my guitar into this Natsumi compressor and then into whatever overdrive unit or effects. Right. What else do I have here? What's this? Oh, I have 2 units of this. Cool. Okay. And then the tuner. Okay, so that's done. So we got this out of the way. Now we have this so-called mini pedals. So this is called the Pulse. What is this? It's the IR load. Wow, it's the IR loader. Nice. So this is a mini pedal. So this is an IR loader where you can load in your favorite IRs. Right? Right, Mark. I'll see you if I do get to Michigan. Yes, definitely. All right. Thank you, Dennis. And then you have the Voodoo Vibe. So I think this is a what you call it? This is okay. So it has a couple of modes in it. A chorus mode, vibrato, with smart tap tempo and stuff like that. So it's more like a modulation pedal. Really nice, really small. Right, and then you have Ukiyo-e chorus. So wow, nice. You have a lot of variations to it. You can kind of vary your chorus. I'm hoping that this will give me the Michael Landau chorus effect, which would be very, very nice. What is this? This is the reverb unit. So it's called the damp reverb as opposed to the dry reverb. So damp reverb, decay level and tone, very small footprint, same. What is this? This is this is a super chorus. This is another chorus. So this is a very different chorus from the other one. So this is called a super mini chorus or mini super chorus. So what does it have? It has some basically the same. It has flanger in it too. So what is this other chorus? Oh, okay. So this Yuki chorus has different modes. You have 3 chorus models and a stereo chorus. Nice. So you can actually go stereo with this. Clean chorus with a Leslie effect. So this is more variation. Whereas this is just the other one is just a normal chorus, I guess. Yeah, you can go stereo for this too. Cool. So far we've seen some nice stereo effects. Now this is a what you call this? The edge delay. Alright, so this is a delay unit. Okay, this is already open, so I can just show you how it looked like. Oh, that's a nice packaging. So it's real small, right? And even though it's purple in color, it's not that kind of ugly purple. This is kind of like a pastel purple color. Some of the NUX effects have like really obnoxious colors, but this whole batch doesn't seem that bad. This is kind of nice. So this is a delay. and it is a mono delay. I'm just hoping that the reverb that they have is a stereo reverb. Let me check. If it's a stereo reverb, then you know that'll be great. Let's see now. What's the reverb? The damp? No, it's mono. It's a mono reverb. Is this a support stereo? What does it mean? Oh, okay. Wait. If it supports stereo, means that yeah, all of these they all support stereo. So they are working with a TSR cable. You know what I mean? A TSR cable, the ones that you have a 1/4 inch coming on and split into X and Y, so you can actually go stereo with this. Cool. I can understand. I can appreciate that. That's nice. All right. I'm not going to review all of this, but well, maybe the bulk of it. I don't see any distortion or overdrive in this range. Yeah, mostly like time-based unit, you know, modulations and stuff like that, which is pretty nice, because we need a whole lot more of this in our pedal board, don't we? Cool. Right, coming back to you guys again. I'm done. I'm done with all the products that I need to sneak peek to you guys. I try to do some sneak peeking of products that I receive every time I do a live stream. Yeah, I was planning to do a live stream on Friday. It's Sunday here. You know, it's Sunday night here, or it's Monday morning right now. It's like 1 a.m. Monday morning. I was thinking of doing a live stream on Saturday morning, but I was too tired. I was naked and I went to sleep. The red box, Dennis, the red box. What's that red box? Oh, the voodoo vibe. Sounds interesting, eh? Oh, and I have something to show you later on. Remember the time when I did a sort of a poll where I asked you guys about what do you guys think of me having my own custom guitar, like a signature guitar, and what do you guys think about it? Well, a lot of you guys are in favor of it. So I'm going to show you a little bit, or maybe I shouldn't do that because I don't have a guitar with me, so nothing is confirmed. How the heck with it, I'll show it to you. Alright, so it's basically been designed and should be ready by, I guess, a couple of weeks from now. The best part of it is that it is from Malaysia, which is our neighbor, and it's not too far away. So I'm looking forward to the completion of that project. Yep. So, man, it's a whole lot of stuff. Why is so much stuff here? Okay. Anyway, so this is it. I must know how to pack properly. Right. Yes, the custom guitar. Hi, Matthew. I didn't see you coming in. Were you in? Yeah. Can't wait for the review of that red box. Okay. I'm gonna show you if I can. But this is from a bass guitar. Basically, this company is called Shui, right? And they're Malaysian based. They're KL. They're based in KL, and they do really nice guitars. You know, really affordable and pretty guitars. Why am I not? Wait, hold on. Let me get you the pictures of how the body is gonna look like. Now, mind you, again, this is like a bass. This is from a bass, not from a sort of hold on. Window capture. So it's supposed to be window capture. Bento box not applying. Chrome, WhatsApp. Yeah, okay. Is this over? Huh? Yeah. Alright, so you ready? So this is how the body will look like on this custom guitar. So this is made of a very unique local wood from Malaysia. Alright, really nice looking. This, okay, again, I state this is from a bass. Alright. This is how the right hand shoulder cutaway looks like, and that's how the body looks like. Right. Okay. Right. So this pretty much it. Again, I state again, this is a bass, so mine is a guitar. It's very different. Right. So price range, I have no idea yet. It's not going to be terribly expensive, even though it looks really expensive. It's going to have a Wenge neck, and I forgot what he told me about the fretboard. It's going to be something really unique, something really nice. So I can't wait, to have it arriving. I was thinking of using it for the Singapore show because I don't want to travel with it yet. Just being a new guitar, there's a couple of tweaks that I need to do to make it mine. That's going to be a 510 Goto tremolo arm, right? And no string tree at all, because the way they design the neck, in the way they angle it, there's no need for string trees. And anyway, they are using staggered lock-in tuners anyway from Goto, and they have a tusk nut, and stainless steel frets, medium jumbo. Hey, what more can I ask for? Anyway, I'm just looking forward to it. I'll let you guys know. Of course, when it comes in, I'll probably do a review of it, and a bit of a show off to you guys, and an introduction as to how and where to get it from. They have an online presence in Facebook, so go look for it. It's SHUE, right? And yeah, you can probably purchase guitars from them directly, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Todd, John, question. You have used the earbud monitors before. I'm asking in particular ones with drivers. Should the low end be more prominent? This seems almost void or absent. Very good question. Oh yes, Dennis, there is my signature, which I'm going to tell you what it's going to look like, but there is my name on the headstock, on the back of the headstock. Okay, coming back to you, Todd. That's a great question. Now, IEMs. All right, I got a pair here, which is not from Fat Freak, which is currently going through some modification. So this is a pair of 846. So I've undergone some changes with this. So it looks kind of funky right now because it's not supposed to be like this, but anyway. Right, so this is the 846. Now this is kind of expensive, an IEM for any musician. Right, so this is a sheer 846. You can see the 846. Where is this? Where is it stated? It's a 846. You can't see nothing. Going blind. So there you go. So there is a 846 here. Wonder, can you see this? Can you see it? No, you can't. Or me neither. Oh, there you go. Here. You see it? 846. Yeah. So this is a Shure 846. It costs. It costs a pretty penny. It's about $1,000 over dollars Singapore. So it's probably about 800, 880 something like that US. And this is from Shure. This is the top of the line, their flagship IEM, so to speak. Now, IEMs comes in many variations. So some comes in with one driver, some comes in with two drivers, some comes in with three, as much as 7 to 8 drivers, sometimes 10 drivers. Why so many drivers, you might ask? Because each driver would represent a certain frequency. Like if you know about your basic graphics EQ, you have things that is from, say, 24 what you call it, kilohertz or 30 kilohertz, which is really high, and all the way down to the sub, we're talking about 50 hertz, and you have all this range in between, like the mids at 1K, the 500 hertz, then the higher mids at 2K, and all these have like how should you call it, different response on your individual ear. Now, as we grow older, or as we play and listen to loud volumes of music each time we are playing in a band, or even when we are listening to a headphone, or whatever, or maybe you have your wife nagging in your right ear. So you're gonna have a frequency loss in either ear. Sometimes if you're blessed, you have frequency loss on both ears. That's not too bad. But sometimes you have frequency loss on one side, and then you're gonna hear like, oh, my right ear. Right now my right ear has a sort of a blockage, so I have to like blow my nose to clear everything. And I know there is some damage done to my ears because of the loud volume that I hear, and the constant use of headphones, especially when I was doing a whole lot of recordings in the studio. There was a whole lot of usage, headphone usage, and many hours of that. And somehow, it kind of like affects my hearing. And as we grow older, the natural way that a human being grows is that we start to have hearing loss on different frequencies. And that's why we have old grandpa saying, hey, can you say that again? It's going to happen to all of us. Every one of us. One day we're going to do that. Hey, what you say again? But if you know how to take care of your hearing properly, it might not be like that. It should not be like that if you protect your hearing, especially like guys who work in loud environments, like construction workers and stuff like that. Or guys who are working in the steel industry where there's a whole lot of pounding, or even guys like me, musicians, who are foolish enough to blast everything at 11 or 12 and not protect your hearing. And I respect those guys, especially drummers who wear protective ear protection for their sessions, and they even have in-ear monitors, but they know how to protect their ears. Drummers especially they run the most risk because the drum is just right in front of you, and if you're not taking care of your hearing, you're gonna go deaf soon enough. So again, coming back to your drivers, you must have enough drivers, at least three, to handle high, mid, and low. And you need the low drivers, the low ones, because these will probably range from 50 hertz all the way to maybe 120, 200 hertz, because this is where you hear all your bass and your kick drum. And for me, the bass, nothing but the bass. The bass is the most important thing that I would like to hear on my in-ears, because this is the only frequency where I can have a reference with, whether I'm singing or whether I'm playing. Like if I'm doing a solo, and the way I play with my tremolo arm and my bending, I need to pitch. I need to pitch against the bass, because the bass is where everything falls on it, you know. And the bass frequency is very important, especially coming from a piano or a string part, you know, an orchestration, or a bass part. And then you also need to hear enough so that you can hear the kick, and that's where you feel that groove. So the tendency is always to boost up a lot more than what you need to. And I've come to realize that I don't have to do that. You know, all I need to do is just hear everything in proportion and equal proportion. I can hear my bass, I can hear my kick, I can hear my own guitar. And when that is enough, that's enough. You know, I don't need to hear more. Sometimes I would take off certain things because I don't need to hear too much. I just want to have the basic. But sometimes, like hard disk parts, like, you know, nowadays when you're doing a concert, there will be hard disks, like, you know, pre-recorded parts like string sections or percussions. Yeah, those are important, so I put them up, but not as loud as what you think. It's just enough for me to know what is happening in the music, and that's all. My more my concern lies with my own sound, the guitar sound I'm using, my guitar volume, as well as the other guitarists, and then the rest of the band. Yeah, this is where I place more importance on, you know, the balancing. I hope you understand. Hi Chris. Usually I do graphics EQ to sound like an amp. I want to get okay, good for you. Of course your hearing takes a toll if in proper use. Dennis, only reason I use headphones was unplugged to protect my hearing. I realized long ago headphones so concentrate, so contrasted. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question, Todd, as to why you need a different drivers. All right. When you're talking about crossover, you know, it's for me, crossover only happens in speakers, not on headphones. I might be wrong, but my only experiences with crossovers are with speakers, where you can kind of like adjust, you know, the stack of frequencies. Not so on IEMs, because it's so minute, right? Now the 846 has something else going for them. It has a subwoofer. And that's why I love them. I can hear the bass drum and everything very clearly. But the only gripe that I have with this is the comfort. You know, being the fact that it depends on the run-of-the-mill buds. You know, it's not like, you know, custom. I can do it. I probably can do it custom if I want to, but I didn't want to because I just don't like the idea of something sticking right in my ears. And I've stayed away from custom IEMs for the longest time. But I was really happy with this because I can hear everything. And I think the tendency for me to bring up a whole lot of volume on this is there because you just want to hear more and more. You just can't get enough of bass. And even though it has a subwoofer, you know, it just sounds so good that you just want to hear more. And it's addictive. And that's where it takes a toll on your hearing. So this time around, I managed to get Fat Freak to get me my own custom. I'm using the Fat Freak case right now in case you notice. Yeah, so I think I showcased it to you guys before the IEMs that I'm using. And I love that IEM. It's the Hayabusa range. Yeah, it's not cheap, it's expensive. But of all the IEMs that I tried from them, that is the one that caters to me. Or that's the one that fits me the most because of my age, you know, of my high frequency loss and maybe my low frequency, I don't know. But it just sounded great for me. And it has enough punch for performance. So I used it on my my previous show, I think a couple of weeks back when I did a show, and I was like blown away. I mean, I was so comfortable with the custom fit. I didn't have, like, you know, aches and stuff like that, and it isolates everything from outside, which is cool. And I can hear the music as it is, and it's very focused, nice tone. Now there are additional toning that you can do with your IEM unit. You know, you can kind of like global EQ the thing, but basically it was all flat. And what I'm hearing is pretty comfortable, and I don't have to play really loud because it's isolated. So nice. So it's in fat free right now because I'm changing the faceplate. I'm vain, so I'm changing the faceplate to something that's more inconspicuous, right? So given the fact that I have long hair, and it will block the faceplate after all, but I wanted something that looks nice. So yeah. Yeah. So only reason I used headphones was okay. I got that. Headphones concentrated sound and did damage. Okay. Yeah, headphones tend to do this if you're not careful. When you're playing, and you're letting it go with really loud volumes, you know, that's bad. That's bad for you. Any more questions? You got a. I have here a real small pedal. I don't know whether I've shown it to you guys before. This is a real small pedal called a lactate. Lexerate boost. Just one knob, one singular knob, and that's it, and you're in business. So it's pretty cute. Yeah, I'm gonna try this with my Mesa Boogie amp. You see how it sounds like, or hear how it sounds like. Sorry, you were asking something, Todd. These are new from Westone. They come with the built-in crossover. I wonder if that is the problem with losing. It might be the problem. Yeah. So I like Westones. My first pair of IEMs are from Westones, but with marketing, you know, sometimes you're not too sure about what they're trying to do. Sometimes it's touch and go, so you might get a product that that's pretty impressive on paper, you know, but when it comes to the real world, yeah. Very often, I just recently discovered Jon in this channel and loving it. Welcome to the channel. Very often. Where are you from? Michigan. Marcus from Michigan. My God, Michigan is cold. Yeah, it gets really cold in Michigan. Oh, Mojave, California. Cool. Well, wait a minute. Isn't that like a desert? Or do they have like a city right smack in the middle of a desert, or the Mojave Desert? Never been there, so I don't know. Cool. So when you're living in a desert, in a Mojave Desert, now obviously you're staying in a town, or if not a city. Is there a city there, or just a plain town? Furnace. Well, Furnace is like, you know, like Tucson, Arizona. There's a Furnace. Okay. So you're sort of close to the Edwards Air Force Base. All right. Okay. Okay. So it gets pretty cold in winter, I guess, because desert, you know, desert winter is no fun. So it's the desert heat. So you have the best of both worlds, two extremes, right? Oh, okay. Northwest is off. Oh, northwest of LA. Oh, cool. Hmm. I'm heading out to LA on 18th. I'm going up to what's this place called? For the life of me, I can't remember the place I'm supposed to play. Where am I supposed to play? Let me check out. It's at a tip on my tongue, but um, in fact, I think this casino that I'm playing is owned by. They're probably owned by Native Americans. I think most of the casinos in the states are owned by. If I'm not mistaken, you know. But this particular one has a Native American name to it. Mm, can't find. Where is it? Ah, there you go. In San Manuel, in Highland, California. So, hi, Jodix. How are you? A long railway there. Oh, you love my demos, especially the PRS. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm going to be playing in this place called Highway San Manuel Boulevard, right? And I believe it's quite isolated, you know. So, yes, Jodix, everything's fine. Thank you so much. How are things over your end? Good. Good to hear. Oh, there you go. Terha Chapi. Basically, that's Native American, right? So this casino, it's what is it called? It's called. Dang, what is it called? It's called Yamava. Yamava. Sounds. On the first glimpse, I thought it was Jewish, you know, but then I think no, it's not. It's probably Native American. You know. Anyway, Mississippi Blues. Hi John, any thoughts on the Boss GX100? I've had one for a couple of days, pretty impressive. No, I have no idea what is this because over at my end here, I basically had no chance to review any product from Roland or from Boss. Let me just take a look at this, the GX100. Ah, okay, so it's a multi-effects. Okay, let me see this. This is almost like, oh, this looks impressive. This looks nice. Just like this looks like a GT, but in a very small form. They have changed their interface, I guess, a whole lot. How are you liking it? You like it? I'm showing you guys what I'm talking about. Right, so basically, hey man, why am I not changing? Can you guys see this? Do you guys see this? So this is how the GX100 looks like. It's not terribly expensive. It's like $799, $800 Singapore dollars. That's probably about what, 690, give or take, US. Interesting. Mighty Plug, yes, I've just showed you guys. I showed them before you came in. They have the version 3 right now, the Mighty Plug. It's pretty interesting. Which store, my Logify? The PRSSC was very beautiful in the store. Which store are we talking about? I just ordered a PRSSC hollow body standard. Cool. You love the touch screen? Easy to use? Good, great. Our workers send. We have to call it. I was gonna call you War. That's about it. How do you keep your acoustic guitars humidified when not in use? Humidified? I'm living in Singapore, so we are so humidified. The amount of water and vapor in this country is incredible. It's so humid. Like I said before, I'm having a thunderstorm as we speak, as we are having this stream. Started about 2.5 hours ago, and about 3 hours right now, and it's going to continue all the way to maybe late morning. It's about 1:30 a.m. right now, so it's still raining, and Singapore is so humid. If some of you have been here before, will understand. So we had to dehumidify instead of humidify our guitars. In contrast to you guys who are living in California, or maybe in Europe, for example, where you have really dry weather and guitars can tend to crack. So you guys should get a humidifier, either inside the case or in the room where you store your guitars. For me, I had to dehumidify, so I have it stored in this. Most of my working acoustic guitars, my 12 strings or my Taylor or my Martin, are stored in this room because I have the air conditioning on all the time. And if you guys know about air conditioning, it kind of suck out every sort of humidity in this room, and it's pretty dry. I can testify with that because my skins get really itchy, and crack because it's so dry here, and that's how I protect my guitars. But I'm not protecting myself, which is pretty bad. I need to put some cream on myself. It sounds a bit kinky, but cream to to what's that word, to what's that word? To hydrate my skin. Yeah. In Turkey. Oh man. A local store. Seen some of the PRSE in there. Yeah. PRSSE are really good value. To tell you the truth, they're really pretty. They're really well made. And some of them sounded really good. You know, I've tested a couple of SE, which I'm really impressed with. Mm. Also saw McCarthy, whose body was a bit thicker than SE. Yeah. Very often it's so dry here, you almost have to put a wet kitchen sponge in your guitar case. Well, that won't help because you know it's gonna like you know get dry again. So don't matter. What are we trying to say, Jodix? It's spelled wrong. Sorry, I'll check it out. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's version 3 right now. You know, you can get one of those, like, you know, I have one here, but I don't want to turn it on. I should turn it on. That's a humidifier. And you can kind of put, like, you know, what's that? What you call it? You can put, like, essential oils in it, you know, just to make your room smell good and at the same time humidify your room. So there are many of these brands around. So you can probably get one in the room where you store a guitar. And the other way is to get those humidifier units where you clamp onto where you fix onto your sound hole. And that will help. Todd, you know what? The cake was magnifique. You know, beautiful. It has cream on top with sprinkling of peanut, and the cream is not overly sweet. Neither is it too heavy. Where you know sometimes some cream can get really buttery, but this is just nice. And the cake itself has an orange tang in it, even though it's chocolate. Beautiful cake. You know, it was made by Sky, that beautiful girl in red, the red-haired girl. Who appears with us in a couple of our live streams. She's great. She's wonderful. You know, she'll remember all our birthdays and she will want to plan something different for each of us. And I really do appreciate what she done for the band. And yeah, so we had lunch in my favorite place, Branches, and the cake was there. I was like, whoa, this is a nice looking cake. You guys want to see the cake? I can show it to you guys. I'll show it to you guys. Might as well show it to you guys. Who am I going to show it to? Right? I mean, I showed it and I posted it on Facebook. I even posted it, if I'm not mistaken, on the community page. But what the heck? Some of you guys don't even go to there. You know, you don't even like know there's a community page. All right, I'm going to show you the cake. You're going to be like impressed with the cake. Where is it? Where is it? Come on. There you go. Okay, I'm going to show you the cake. There you go. So this is how the cake looks like. Isn't it crazy? It's a chocolate cake, right? So it's got a little bit of a dried orange or mandarin just for decoration, but the chocolate cake has a tangy orange texture to it and taste to it. And she's so funny. She kind of like got this impression that I actually own a PRS, this Bonnie red pink guitar, which I reviewed, which one of my students eventually bought, you know. So yeah, so she did this guitar. And this is this is not really my name in Chinese. This is my last name, just Chiang. And then this is Koko, Keke, meaning big brother, you know. And it's a vibe. It's crazy amount of work put in, and love her for it, you know. That Sky, yeah. Okay, so where were you guys? I might recommend a air humidifier. We have one where you put in a 50 ml bottle in it, and I'm not sure it would be enough for you. But turning it on once a day, a 15 ml water could help with the dry air, I'm guessing. Yeah, it probably does work. Yeah. It takes about 2 or 3 hours to be emptied, a 50 ml water bottle. Hmm. Sure, Dennis. Wait, there's a question here. What it does look. I mean, it tastes beautiful. You know, I brought it home because we couldn't finish it. My son finished everything. He loves chocolate cake. Um. Okay, so very often asked, John, well, how did your channel get the name John is Just Too Loud? It's an old running joke with me and my late keyboard player, Mitch, who passed away last year, I guess. No, earlier this year. Earlier this year, he passed away because of a heart attack. He just passed away in his bed. Uh, I remember back when we were playing together in a band back in the 90s, and he will always complain that I was too loud, and I on my part will complain that it's too loud. And part of the problem was because my amp was just underneath his keyboard stand, so obviously it's gonna be loud. All we need to do was to situate the amp in a different position, and that was have solved the problem. But uh, we were like space constrained, so and I want the amp to be behind me, so it was just right underneath him. So he was complaining. He was like, "John, just too loud. It's always too loud." And I guess the name for this channel is because of my affection for Mitch. You know, I missed him. He's a good brother. It's always filled with laughter and joy. And every time when we get together, there'll be a whole lot of laughing, a whole lot of laughing, a whole lot of laughter, and you know, just to see, I just miss his mischievous and joyful face. He's kind of plumb. And the only thing that, you know, he had a heart bypass a couple of years ago because he was eating everything that moves. You know, he's a glutton. So what can I do? I mean, he likes food. He loves food, and that probably did a number on his body and his health. Yeah, I missed him. Pangaroo. Hi John. Are you in Singapore? If so, did you know Zoo, who played at Harry's Bar? I had the pleasure of seeing him play and met him. Unfortunately, he passed on too. Yeah, I know Zoo a long time ago. Great singer. You know, I was a fan of Tanya back in the early '80s because I bought their album. You know, they actually came out with an album produced by EMI back then, and I just love his voice. You know, uh, yeah, and he was the one that turned me on to Boss Gags. Believe it or not, he did a song. Um, what song did he did? Rito. What's the title of this song? Lido. Lido by Boss Gags. And they actually did a cover. The whole album is filled with covers anyway. So they did a cover of Lido. I'm going, wow, what a beautiful song. And he got me turned on to Boss Gags back then. And the last time I met him was in a wake. One of our top session guitar player, Reggie Vergis. He's a producer, great guitar player, real talented. Passed away, and I was at his wake. I don't really know him, you know, but I just went there out of respect for him, and I met Zul, and we sat down and we talked for a while. Just I respect this man so much, and he's so chill, he's so cool. And then a couple of years, I mean, a year and a half later, I was at I was on an outing with my kids in this island in Sentosa, and we were like, was in a zoo. I forgot. No, Sentosa. Yeah, I was in Sentosa when a good friend of mine texted me and said zoo just passed, and I was like, man, yeah, I was taken by surprise. It's sad, you know. Anyway, hi Scooter. Rock Evolution. Hi John, because you're not just a super talented player, but also a very experienced geek and musician, I need a affordable live set. Except the guitar? What is your recommendation classic rock? I don't get your question, sorry. You need an affordable live set. I'm confused. Yeah, very often I knew there had to be a good band practice story behind it. My husband, who passed away in 2019 from leukemia, was a keyboard player too, and we were always telling him he was too loud. Keyboard players are like notoriously loud, and everybody blames us guitar players. Like, no, guitar player is always the loud one. You know who's even louder? The drummer. Yep, and nobody says nothing. And you know who got it made in a band? Who has the shortest end of the stick? The guitar player. Why? Because we had to carry our guitars, sometimes 2-3 guitars, and then we had to carry our outboard gear, whatever effects that you're using, your pedal board or your body effects, and then you got to come in earlier than the rest because you got to get a sound right and everything. And what does the drummer do? A pair of drumsticks, maybe 2 pairs, and that's about it. Right? I don't know about the States, but in Singapore, that's what we do because most of the time the clubs have their own drum set. So these guys will just waltz in, with a pair of drumsticks, and that's it. Keyboard player, he comes in with his iPad, and he's ready to go. Bassist, just carry his bass, and that's about it. His bass and iPad. The guitarists have to carry so much stuff. And when show is over, who's the last one off the stage? You guessed it, the guitar player. We should get paid more. Trust me. See, there you go. So you're a drummer and he's even louder than you. I'm so sorry for your loss. Yeah. Oh, you're right too. The rhythm guitar is. All right, so there is an interesting part about this thing that Scooter brought up, the rhythm guitarist, the rhythm guitar player. The rhythm guitar player is actually the most important guitar player in the band, not the soloist, because unless you belong to a 4-piece band where there's only one guitar player. In certain bands, you have that, like for example, Toto, Bad Company, Free, Deep Purple. All these bands have just one guitar player, so it's cool. But if you get a band like Eagles, for example, or AC/DC, you're gonna have like 2 guitar players, or even Shadows, the great Shadows. You will notice that something is really missing if there's no rhythm guitar player. Now the fact remains that even groups like Toto or even Deep Purple, in their recordings you can hear multiple guitar tracks. So in a live situation, they will probably make do with just one guitar player. And I'm going to face that situation soon when I go up to the States, because the songs that we'll be playing has a whole lot of guitars, because I was the producer and I was the one who played most of the guitars during the recording. So I'm going to have some problem there, but I'm going to circumvent myself out of it by doing some other stuff. But anyway, I'm not going to go there. The rhythm guitar player is really important because he needs to lay down the feel of or whatever is happening in the song. And sometimes my favorite guitar parts or guitar sessions are those that involve me doing rhythm. I love playing rhythm. I simply love it. You know, I'm just happy playing rhythm. You know, if that's what it takes. You know, I'm in no contest to play solo all the time. You know, rhythm guitar, it's for me it's like a joy. You know, especially funk guitar playing. I love those. You know, or even acoustic strumming, acoustic guitar playing. You know, I love those, and it's so underrated, and it's probably because of ego. You know, everybody wants to be in the limelight. Everybody wants to be. That's from the album by Peter Cetera, his first solo album. Everybody wants to be in the limelight. Yeah, and it's true. Every one of us wants to be in the limelight, and we want to play the instrument that that gives us more exposure. But playing rhythm guitar is something else. Right. So okay, so Rockvolution, sorry, M modeling, affordable M modeling, the Helix. So if you're gonna be real serious about playing in a gig, in a live set, get the Helix. Or if you prefer the Camper, go for it. If you want the FM, now they have the FM9, go for it. In fact, tomorrow I'm heading down to Davis to try out the FM9 Turbo and see what that is all about. I've tried all three. I love the Helix because basically I'm a Line 6. I say again, I'm a Line 6 fanboy. But I just find that working with the Helix is so easy for me. I tried a Camper. I love the amp simulation, but I just don't really dig the interface as well as the effects. I thought it could be better. The FM, I was so because I was trying out the FM3, but now they have the FM9, so I'm thinking of trying that too. It would take me a while to figure out what is happening, and maybe I'll do a review of it. But I'm going down tomorrow to kind of test out how does it sound like. And we'll see. All right. Where are we? I know a lot of us do miss him. Talking about Zul, most of us will speak fondly of him because he's such a humble guy. Dennis, there's no way to reduce a drummer's loudness except to break a guitar. Well, I've done that before. I've broken a guitar once before, back in the days when, before I was a Christian. We did a show, the Halloween night show, and I broke a guitar. And after that, I swore to myself that I will never do that again because it didn't feel right to destroy a perfectly good guitar. It was an Ibanez guitar. And I smashed it to smithereens. It was part of the show, but I didn't like it. I came away from the whole experience feeling very lousy. Very often you have to drag your own drum kit into most places here in California. I was the last one out with them. Yeah, I understand that. That's why I'm saying that you guys have different styles of working. In Singapore, you have all the drum sets there, so you can just walk away from the set with your drumstick and that's it. You should come over here and work. Hi, Armin. Good to see you again. Dennis, the secret to rhythm guitar is put in some hot licks as fillers. You can lay in notes between your rhythm strokes. It's difficult but sound good. I'm not repeating my post, a glitch. No, we know that you have to repeat yourself, Richard. Yes, of course I can tell it's a glitch. There's no way you're going to type all these things twice. Right? It's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So, what you're talking about, Dennis, is a singular guitar player who is playing guitar, really guitar, and filling in. And that's what I used to do because I was the only guitar player in my band. And that's what I'm going to do in this coming show in the States. Because, like I said, these are the songs that I recorded myself. So a whole lot of guitar parts, and basically you need two guitar players. And I did shows for my brother Eric for many years, and we always had two guitar players. So this is the first time, or no, this is not the first time. This is one of the rare times where we're gonna do his songs with just me on guitar. So it's gonna be a challenge, but dude, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I love this sort of challenges because then I'm at the top of my game, so I got to be like, really honing down on what I'm supposed to do and be focused, and I love that. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, yeah. YouTube is like having a whole lot of glitches. I don't know. Maybe they're like, I don't know what's happening. Where and when are you going in the US? I'm heading up on the 18th. I'll be back on the 27th. Probably spend about 9-10 days over there. Yeah. Oh, which reminds me, I had a ball of a time filling up my work visa for the American embassy. Yeah, every time we go up to the States, we have to go through the same thing. You know, the DS-160. You know, the visas, the working visas. We have to go for interview. You know, they ask a whole bunch of questions, and some of them are really funny questions. And if you get the right guy, it's fun. But if you get the wrong guy, it's gonna be a pain. And after that, we gotta wait for our visa and passports to be returned to us so that we can actually board a plane. So it's really frustrating at times to have to go through all this. And you know how the American embassy, the American embassy today is not like how it used to be back in the days when I was a young kid. Back then, anybody can just walk into the American embassy. We're talking about back in 1960, mid 60s to all the way to mid 75 or or 80. It was open. You know, American Embassy was really relatively like a public place. You know, I used to go in with my dad on weekends and read up on American history. So I read up about the Civil War. I read up about how the Civil War got started. I read up about the Native Americans, and I read about all the way up to, I think I stopped somewhere in 1930. You know, where the Great Depression happened, and I just kind of stopped there. So I wasn't really going into in depth. I just have interest. I have a strange interest in American history because of the cowboy and Indian movies that we used to watch, and the Civil War movies like Gone with the Wind. You know, it kind of like intrigued me. Like, why would Americans fight with themselves, North and the South? Why are they fighting? It always intrigued me as to why uh, they are fighting for, and they're fighting for the slaves. So basically, who brought in the slaves? They brought in the slaves, and you guys brought in the slave, and yet, you know, you're killing each other, brothers and brothers. So that whole scenario got me like really confused and wanting to know more. And henceforth, the visit to the American Embassy, the library, and it was fun, you know. And then the 70s and 80s happened, where there are terrorist attacks and things that are happening all over the world, and they clamped down with high security. So now for us to go into American Embassy is like going to Fort Knox. You know, it's like a highly secured place. You know, you go through months of security check. But it's getting better right now. I feel that it's getting better, that there's a whole lot of online ways to apply your visa. So they're making, I think they finally realized that it's really a pain in the ass to apply for a visa. I remember one of my earlier trips when you're talking about in the mid 90s or maybe the year 2000, where I was in an interview. I was going for an interview in the American Embassy, and there was this Chinese guy who was going in to do some work, you know. And the interviewer was asking you a whole lot of questions. Back then, they would ask you like, how much you have in your bank account. Questions like, have you ever been involved in a terrorist group? Like, I would tell you. They would ask you all sorts of funny questions, and this guy just had it, and he says, "Screw it, I'm not gonna go to your country. I don't need this. You are humiliating me. Somehow just triggered him. And the kind of questions or some remarks from the interviewer triggered him, and he was so pissed. He just tore up his visa application in front of me and said, I'm not going to go to your country this time. Enough is enough. And he walked off. So it was kind of bad. So nowadays it's getting easier. So there's a whole lot of the usual questions, but it's all online, and yeah, it's kind of easy right now. I can tell you that it's easier right now than before, compared to before. Yeah, that's really funny. Like, watching cowboys, old cowboy movies in Japanese. Have you seen the Japanese version of Unforgiven? You should check it out. The Unforgiven movie by Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman? Yeah, they have a Japanese version. And it was like, it's quite a recent version, maybe the year 2020 or 21. Yeah, check it out. It's also titled as Unforgiven, but the Japanese version. Yeah, so I had a good time, and I'm just waiting for the interview to happen, and then once that's done, I'll just wait for my passport and my visa. Yep, I can't wait for my trip. I've been cooped up in this country for 2 years, 2.5 years, almost 3 years right now. Year 2020. And we finished the gig in New Jersey. We came back during February 2020. So it's almost 2.5 years. Right. How's everything, Scooter? Everything at home good? And you, Logify, is everything good? And no, Pangoro, I don't have a website. I'm not that famous. No, I don't have my tour schedule. We don't really tour as per se, like 15 shows, 30 shows now. Whenever there's a show, we'll go up and that's about it. We do our shows, we come back home. Sometimes I would like to stay, but the amount of stuff that I'm carrying up, just doesn't make sense. I have a couple of godchildren staying in LA, and one of them has relocated to Washington. But I would love to stay, a couple of days with them, But no, I think I would rather come home. I got a YouTube channel to run. Great, great, Richard. That's good to hear. Send my love to Maria. Good? Cool. What were you doing in Japan, Dennis? Were you stationed there or in the military, or were you working there, or what? Do you have a chance to come down to Singapore before? Yes, surprisingly it is. I told Miss Jeanette right after I did the review, I said, well, this is a really nice guitar. And it's so affordable. All right, Pangoro, you take care. Good night. And it's really useful. Like, I can imagine myself using it live, even in a big concert. Don't matter. Yeah. Very good price. What is it, about $180 per pop US? Okay, I got to go. It's been a long day because I started teaching at 4 p.m. Non-stop. You know, I just thought I'd do a live stream before I have no time to do anything because I'm going to start rehearsal soon. Well, I'll be a fortnight from now, but still, you know. What is that? I hate it when bands tune sharp. Oh, dude, I know you were in Vietnam. You were wounded, so you're a vet. Man, I respect you, Dennis. So do you get out of the army right after that, or were you in the Marines? John, I hate when bands tune sharp or flat. Hey, don't we all? It's a common mistake, especially when guitar players are dependent on clip-on tuners like this. You know, all these little clip-on tuners. Because all it takes is just one wrong push of a button, and you're in the calibration mode where you can probably like just what happened. This is what happened this afternoon with one of my students. You know, he came in and then he was tuning his guitar. I'm going, his guitar is like so flat. I wonder, but it's like registering correctly in on the tuners. But I have my guitars tuned, so and mine was with the tuner on my Line 6 Helix Native, so it's really accurate. And then I'm going like, why is this guitar so out of tune? And then I suspect it was a tuner, and I look at the tuner, and yes, it was calibrated at 437. So the universal calibration should be 440, sometimes 441. If you have an orchestra, a classical orchestra you sometimes it varies between 439 to 441, but the universal tuning calibration is 440, 440. So I tuned it back to 440, and then he was okay. Then yeah. So sometimes guitarists will depend on this, you know, and that's where everything gets screwed up, you know. So my advice is when you do have a multi effects, or if you're using a pedal board, you know, use one of those, like, you know, tuners that are in the pedal form, because you can set whatever calibration and just leave it and make sure that nobody touches it. Because I had experience before myself in one of the live stream gigs that I did, and Sebastian, the other guitarist, was looking at me like real funny because he says that my guitar sounds really off, and I couldn't really tell because I was so trusting of the clip-on tuners that I was using, you know. And why was I using a clip-on tuner in the first place? Oh, it was my acoustic guitar. My acoustic guitar was really off because somehow I accidentally touched the calibration mode. Dangerous. Yeah, correct. It's a Matt will to the E flat or D sharp. Dennis, yes, discharge after getting out of hospital, calling on God when getting wounded, I believe kept me alive. Bless you, kill me. I thank God that He kept you alive. Yeah, it was definitely. Yes, it was definite. Yes, it was God. All right. I think a lot of us here are can testify to the fact that God saved our lives in more ways than one. Maybe not as dramatic as you or traumatic as you, Dennis, but God saved me. I was on the road to depression, to really bad depression. I think if Jesus didn't came true for me, I'll probably be dead, either one way or another, by suicide or by addiction or whatever it is. It always remind me of the fact that the Bible always told us that what the devil seeks is to destroy us, to steal, destroy, and rob us of many things that God has provided for us, and or rather to kill, steal, and destroy. So to kill us, literally to kill us, the devil would just want us dead through any circumstances, be it addiction, depression, war, or violence. But God has better plans for us, and as long as we set our eyes on Him, it would be okay. Not it should be. It would be okay. I thank God that I was like brought up in a Catholic school. Somehow my dad, antichrist as he is, I mean not antichrist but anti-Christian as he is, he saw fit to send me to a Catholic school, and I spent 10 years of my life in a Catholic school, and that kind of like gave me a sort of a primitive understanding of who God is. But it was much later on as I stepped out into the world and started my career as a musician and went through all the stuff that I went through, and then finally found out that God is real. So I get guys coming up to me asking me about God. I have one person who is my former drummer, who recently went through a stroke, right? So he was frightened out of his wits, and he was talking to me on the phone that he really wanted to meet up with me and talk to me because when he was having this stroke, he was so filled with fear that he cried out to God because one of his friends is a Christian, and he asked him to cry out to God to help, and he did, and he felt better. So he wanted to talk to me about this. I said, fine, we should, So it's up to him to set a date for me to talk, probably next week, yeah. And I get guys like that who wants to know more about God, but then again, I have also guys that just turn away from God, and I don't blame them sometimes because we Christians, I'm not sure any one of you, I mean all of you guys are Christians, but sometimes we are to be blind because we don't live our life right. We might be Christians, but we don't behave like Christians sometimes, and that's why pre-believers or non-believers have this concept that a conception that why should I become a Christian? They are all nasty people, and I know I've been there. I met Christians who are like the worst of the worst, and I met non-believers, people who are non-Christians, who are the sweetest angels. So I don't blame them. So I think it's a huge responsibility for us as Christians to really watch what we do and say and behave, and to practice love wherever we go, and practice patience, forgiveness, integrity, honesty, and all that, that what God wants us to represent as children of God. The day will come when if we stop doing that, then we're supposed to be a mirror image of Christ, right? We're supposed to be, but a lot of us are not, including myself. But there are certain fundamental things that we should be representing God with, and this is why I think and I believe. Amen to that. Yeah. So you guys know what I'm talking about. We talk the talk, but we don't walk the walk, right? And a lot of us have done that. There was this guy who I believe was a Christian, married, a very staunch believer. Can quote Bible verses, but who stalks women, and that boggles my mind. Like, how could you do that? I'm sure there are temptations around, but your faith in God should curb you from going wayward. You should have understanding of what is right and what is wrong. But enough of that. I thank God, Dennis, that He kept you alive. I thank God that you are here today, and I got to know you. So Richard, meet Dennis. He's old, cracked, and dated. So Richard is my scooter. He's my big brother, and I'm sure you are my big brother too, Dennis. So yeah, I'm really glad. I'm really glad that you're around. Yes, brother, he's love. Very often, he's still around. Very often. And guess what? I'm back to my normal sleeping habits right now. So there was one time where my sleeping schedule is like really topsy-turvy, and I was living the LA time zone, so the Los Angeles time or the California time zone. Now I'm back to my normal time zone in Singapore. So it's about that time where my eyes starts to go wonky on me. My body is telling me to sleep, so I'm gonna knock off soon. Gonna go and leave you guys to what you guys are doing on the Sunday and night Sunday. So anything else to tell me? Anything else to ask me? Yeah, I'm just gonna leave like in 15 minutes time or 10 minutes time. Thank you, Scooter. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support and your friendship. I do. You and Maria is like, I can feel you guys. I can feel you guys edging me on. Go eat a burrito. Oh. I just had beef stew. Ooh. Yeah, my students, I have like 6 students, and they're so nice. They're the sweetest of all. They got me a sort of a meal package on my birthday, and part of it is a pot of beef stew, and really nice beef stew, and some noodles and bread, sourdough bread and stuff like that. It's cool. You're not broken at all. Yeah, you're not cracked at all. How old is your granddaughter, Dennis? SBE? Thank you. Where are you from, SBE? Wow. Well, she's in college now. Cool. That must be some years ago. New York City. Wow. Which one is which? Okay. That's not an Epiphone. It's a real Les Paul. Remember, this is the one that my friend Alex passed to me. Yeah. This is a Les Paul. What the heck is this? It's Les Paul traditional standard special or something like that. You know, it's not your normal. It's a bit of a different Les Paul. I think I got a. Not mistaken, I have a review of this guitar. If you're interested, take a look at the review. Hi, Klaus. Guten Morgen. These are the I forgot what is it. Yeah. What's the ones that that Gibson used to use? I mean, they're their favorite pickups. It's from Gibson, but there's a model to it. I keep on forgetting what's the name. Anyway, let me just get a co-op. Why is this sounding so slow? Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there you go. It's a 2012 standard traditional pro. Yeah, basically it's like a traditional Les Paul, but with very different appointments. Yeah. I'm gonna give you the link for this. God, it's so slow. Okay. So this is the link. You all want to see the review of this? Really? Yeah. That's nice. I like this guitar a lot. Fact is, in terms of sound, I like this even more than my own Les Paul. My what's that? Mine's a custom, right? So mine's a custom Les Paul, 19, if I'm not mistaken, 1998 or something like that, 95 custom Les Paul. So that's a more expensive Les Paul than this, but I kind of like the sound of this. I don't know why. Probably because of the pickups. I don't know what pickups are these. These are the ones that what's that? Let me see now. There's a name to it. You know, these pickups have a name to it, and it's you can split call with this. So that's interesting. You can get very nice combination of sound, and you have lock-in tuners. So changing strings on this is easy. You also tend to have a more balanced, you know, because of the lock-in tuners. You know, you don't have too much of a heavier body, so yeah, it's kind of balanced in a way. You're right, Roger Fi. You've always been there. Burst Buckers, right? That's right. Nice sustain. Yeah, it sustains forever. This is one of the better, nicer Les Paul that I played, and I'm so blessed to have this as a gift from my friend Alex. You know, my old friend Alex. He used to be my boss, so I used to work for him, and he took up guitar, started playing guitar at the ripe old age of 60. So this year he's 73. So he started guitar like 13 years ago, and he had a whole bunch of guitars because he did well in his business. So he had like a couple of Hank Marvin guitars, this guitar, have a couple of nice custom shop tallies and stuff like that. Bunch of amps. He's really into amps, so he's got the twin reverb, or some of the amps that I probably never heard of before. Yep, a whole bunch of Voxes. Crazy. So when I finally hooked up with him, you know, he was so happy to see me again, and then kind of jammed with him, and he asked me whether I wanted Les Paul. I said I didn't want another guitar because, you know, too many guitars, and I already have a Les Paul. So I said, okay, I'll just do a review of it. You know, I always do reviews on strange guitars. So I did a review and fell in love with it. And I said, okay, I'm gonna keep this. So okay, cool. I kept this. Funkaberry Finn, that's a nice name. What do you think about digital amps? Do you use any? No. But in a way, yes. Because I'm using the Line 6 Helix. But then again, that's like purely digital. Like, you know, in the digital domain, there's like amp simulation, cap simulation. From what I gather, you are talking about, like, you know, a digital amp like the Katana, or, you know. No, I have no interest in digital amp, to tell you frankly. If I want to get an amp, I'll get a tube amp or a transistor amp. Like, this is a transistor amp. This is an orange Super Crush 100. I have a Mesa Boogie Transatlantic, which is pure tube. So yeah, I want to go for amps that there are amps, you know, and digital amps, you know, they're not here, not there, you know. If I want to go digital all the way, I'll go for the Helix, which is virtually no amp at all, just amp simulation. Yeah. I gotta go. I gotta go sleep. All right. So before I go, I'm just gonna say a short prayer for all of you here. How many of you guys are still with me? Let me see. There are still 13 of you guys here, so small bunch. What? Not enough video to maintain smooth. What are you talking about? I didn't do nothing. Okay, I'm having a sort of error message here saying that, you know, you guys will probably see like buffering and stuff like that. Not enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I don't know what that means. But if you guys can hear me or see me in a natural way, can you just let me know? You know. Oh, from Finland. Hi. Welcome. Matti? Matil? Mm-hmm. There are a couple of Europeans here from the Scandinavian side. Welcome. Anyway, so I'm going to say just a short prayer, and I'm going to go and sleep. All right. You guys take care of yourself, okay? So I thank you, Jesus, for tonight. I ask you, O Lord, to watch over them and their families. Lord, may you grant them joy. May you grant them protection even as they travel from place to place to their work or to any other places. Lord, you give them journey mercy. Lord, if any one of us is ailing, Lord, I just pray that you will heal us. Whether it's a physical ailment or a mental ailment, Lord, I just pray that you would help us to be healed totally in your name, Lord Jesus. I pray for protection over our loved ones, our families, as well as ourselves, Lord. Give us good health, Lord. And I thank you, Lord, for your grace and mercy. I thank you, Jesus. And I pray all this in your mighty name, O Lord. Amen. Okay, now it's okay now. Now I have excellent connection. So it's so weird. Yeah, YouTube is really getting weird. I'm getting ready to go to bed. Yeah, my eyes like, you know, can't keep my eyes open. So you guys please take care of yourself, all right? Hopefully next week I might squeeze in a live stream. Next Saturday, Nick Johnston is coming to Singapore. I think he's doing a tour right now in Asia. I think right now he's in Vietnam or or even in Thailand, and he's heading to Malaysia next week. So he's heading out to Singapore on Saturday. I'm gonna meet up with him Saturday. We miss Jeanette, all right? So don't really know him, but I'm going for his clinic. I was invited for his clinic, so I'll just head on down. Yeah, well, I'll let you guys know. So thank you, Richard. And it was good seeing you, Dennis and Logify, and the rest of you guys here, Klaus. Auf Wiedersehen. And Funkoberry, right? Yeah. And SEBE, CB. Yeah, it was nice seeing you. You guys are like, the first timer here. Pangaroo, as well as what's the other one? Very often, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'll see you. You guys take care of yourself. Bye. Night. Good Nick. Take photos with him. No, he should take photo with me. Yeah, we'll see. I'd rather take photos with Miss Jeanette. Okay, night.